Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Light It Up Ministry. I just came on here to give you guys a word that the Lord had shown me in a vision that He wanted me to get on here and interpretate the meaning and the message behind it. I'm pretty sure as I get talking, the Holy Spirit is going to reveal more elements about this dream. Again, it was a quick scene and it had a lot of impactful meaning that He wanted me to get out here and warn His children. So whoever this message is for, let them have ears to hear and let it resonate in your spirit, and take every message to the Lord, because I'm just the messenger. However, I do feel like this is for a certain person in mind, so if you are listening, may you hear this message. Okay, so basically what the dream is, let's dive into what the dream is. The dream was quick. It was a girl who was, I don't know, she was selling ice cream, but she had some type of mobile business. I don't know if it was food or ice cream, because I was sitting on the sidelines, like in a house, on a house porch, kind of watching the scene. She pulls up. She had like a line of customers. Pretty black girl, nice chocolate skin. Her hair was done. She had a nice little ponytail. And I think she served probably like 5 customers. And then this girl comes while she's talking to a customer and literally snatches out her ponytail. It was a weave, of course, but she snatched it out so rough. And the girl immediately told everybody she needed a minute. She needed a break, that she will resume business back in 25 minutes. And as I'm watching the whole thing, this girl that did it didn't have no remorse. She snatched it, ran. And it felt like when I'm an overseer in my dream, I can hear and see everything like if I'm standing right there. So the girl immediately closed her mobile car or mobile truck shop, and she was crying, and she was talking to someone, and she was stating that she's tired of the torment that this girl tries to embarrass her wherever she goes. She's trying to pull out her ponytail, or trying to pull her pants down, anything that she can do to embarrass her in public, that she's kind of stalking her, and she gets off on embarrassing her. And she was just crying, full of tears. And she was like, I'm just so tired. I don't know when she's going to pop up, how she's going to pop up. And now I'm getting anxiety, and what she just did, she embarrassed me in front of my customers. Like, I'm so humiliated and blase, blase. So then the dream switched to where now I'm in the dream and we're driving, and it was a family. They had a jumper in front of their house, and an older lady and the same girl who got her ponytail pulled out walks up to the car. Now they seem very familiar to my spirit, because they were talking to me like if I was a family friend of some sort. And I had asked her about the incident. Hey, so-and-so, I seen that. What happened? Why didn't you do anything? Why did she pull your hair like that and run off? And the mother quickly intervened and was like, oh, well, she's a longtime family friend. We grew up, I grew up with her parents. At the end of the day, she just plays a lot, but she didn't mean no harm by it. Blase, blase. And the girl was quiet the whole time. And she was like, she lives right there next door to us, so we're really close to the family. I was like, oh, okay. And she told me the girl's name. I can't remember it, but she told me the girl's name. The whole time, the girl who got her hair pulled out was silent. And I was like, well, why don't you stop talking to her? And the mama again cut me off and said, because she's a very good girl and they're family friends. I said, okay. She was like, go over there and go meet her for yourself. So then she pretty much watched me walk over to the second house that was next door to them. And I knocked on the door twice, and they just said, come in. I come into this misty, dusty house, right? Real dim, like if they had old school days, right? It's real kind of ghetto, but they had sheets kind of hanging up on all the windows. And it was a circle table, and it was an auntie, a grandmother, a mother, and an uncle, and maybe a brother in the background. And then she was in the living room. So I come in, I'm like, hi, how everyone's doing? How's everyone doing? I come from next door. Miss Pam sent me over. She wanted me to meet Dominique. I'm just throwing the name out there. And it was like, she in the living room. But they was all staring me down. It was not pleasant walking in there. I remember kind of feeling like, whew, let me hurry up and get this over with. So I was like, Dominique. I kind of looked in the living room, and she rose up. And it was real, old school furniture. But there was no light in there. It was so dim. She stands up, a nice dark looking girl. And she was like, yeah, I'm her. I was like, I just came over to introduce myself. I'm Tiffany. I'm friends with Miss Pam and her daughter. She told me that she was a really lovely young lady. So I just wanted to go ahead and greet myself and let you know who I am, just in case you see me on the streets, that we can definitely, know each other's name by name. And she was like, okay. So she reached her hand out. I reached my hand out, and she reached and kind of shook it. But she had this look like this. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, that's it. I don't want to disturb y'all. And the mom was like mouthing something. She was saying like something like this fake blah 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 coming up in here. She was mumbling something, but she was like kind of slouched down in her seat. So when I shook her hand, I kind of turned around to go back out the front door, and I got a glimpse of everyone at the table. The mother looked like she was kind of a recovering drug addict, if not active. The best way I can describe her is, if you guys know Keisha Cole's mom, may she rest in peace, but she kind of gave me that vibe. Her shirt was like hanging off of her shoulders, and she was just saying whatever she felt at her mom. The grandmother was very judgmental, kind of looking me up and down, trying to figure out what was my angle of being in there and coming in there. And the brother kind of was just staring at me, and the uncle was just sitting there staring at me. And I pretty much got up out of there. And when I opened the door, I opened my eyes and woke up. So I didn't think nothing of it. I went along with the day, but the Lord keeps tugging me about this dream. So this is the message, okay? So now we're about to jump into the message part. I don't know who's out there that has someone tormenting them to the point where it's not funny no more, where it's hard for you to even find any type of antidote for their behavior. Now it's just an irritation, and you do it out of honor of your family because they've been a family friend, because they've been in the family for a long time, because your mother knew that person's mother. Whatever the reason is, it's just like now you feel like you owe this part of yourself, even though that this person has disrespected you, crossed the lines on many levels, keep trying to humiliate you, right? Telling your stories, and just, they're really tormenting you. You feel it in your soul and you know it. And if it wasn't for the connection of your parents, or however that person had made their way in your family, you would disconnect from this toxic person. The Lord is telling me to tell you, you need to. Beloved, you don't owe them anything, regardless if it is a family friend or not. If they are stepping to you in disrespect and they are grieving your spirit, then it's time to disconnect. You cannot keep allowing this person to come in your life and disrespect you, embarrass you, humiliate you, whenever they feel are pleased to do. Whenever you invite them, see them, they have nothing good to say out their mouth. Everything has a punchline. You have to disconnect. Stop allowing, now when the mother kept cutting me off, stop allowing the family member to keep telling you, well, we have to be different. We have to stay. Well, Christy, she's a really good girl. She doesn't mean nothing by it. Your mother is not you. She doesn't know what you feel. You might feel differently from the mother. When I went in that house and I shook the girl's hand, she put on her front, right? But I seen her nastiness when she snatched that girl hair out. It's a nasty girl. And when I went in there, God is telling me, right, that now this is for the other person, not the girl who got her hair snatched out, but the girl that actually did the snatching. If this is you, you're starting to be like your environment. You're starting to be infected by every single family member that is toxic, that is coming off of you like the plague. And you're so mad because that girl, she was doing good. She had her own little business. She was looking cute. She was nice. She was mannerable. I watched her whole thing, and a girl came over and snatched it. See, what that was jealousy. So if you have jealousy in your heart of a longtime family friend because you haven't seen yourself move, and every time you go around this girl or this man, he's shining. He doing something. He's taking steps, moving closer and closer to his goals, and you are not. So you try to embarrass this person at any cost because you're stagnant. God is saying that he sees you. And you better stop, because you can be just like that person that you're jealous and hating on, but you choose to fester in your family's environment. What I seen was a generational curse being passed down to that girl. Nobody at that table was nothing. They were all sitting there judgmental, looking at me crazy. They barely wanted to open their mouth and speak. The mother had some kind of drug addiction, and here you are, going around tormenting people who's further than where you are at. You think you have a right because you known that person, and you do not. That your fakeness is only going to go so far, and this is why you're not moving. You have generational curses on you, and you're allowing yourself to be the next generation that will be cursed. You don't even see it. It was so thick in that house when I went in there, how dark it was. There was no light in there. It's like misty up in there. Like a thick must up in there. You go to some old people house, the lights is all dim. There's a lot of stuff in there. It's real crowded, small and tiny. You need to get up out of there. Because God is saying that poison is starting to seep out in you. And now you're becoming your environment. You're becoming your environment so much that you're nasty to be around. That when somebody is really doing something and shining and having accomplishments, that here you come with your negative light, with your judgmental attitude, trying to make somebody fall for your amusement. And God is saying all you got to do is have a talk with him, because he understands. Maybe you need to have a talk with him because you feel like you ain't moved. You feel like you deserve. You feel like you should be having. So what I'm going to tell you is stop coveting your neighbor. Your mother can't save you. No one in that house can save you. They have lost hope and turned their own backs. And you're becoming just like them, negative and nasty to be around. So if you out there tormenting people on however you're doing, whether you're criticizing, whether you're tearing them down with your words, whether every time they come around you, you're trying to intimidate them with the way you look, you backstabbing, you gossiping, who am I talking to? Because you mad you're not further in life, so now here you go, stumping people down wherever you at. You better stop. So your whole generation, your whole line was in that house. And I didn't see no light on not one of y'all. Not even you. Even when you shook my hand and you was fake, I seen right through you. You barely wanted to shake my hand. The only reason why you didn't show your true colors is because I was new to that environment. You didn't want to put yourself out there like that. But I had already seen you in the previous scene of what you did to a girl that you did know. And you nasty. And you got a nasty heart. Your family had a nasty heart. And if you want to be anything more than what you are now, I'd advise you to step out of that house. Step out of that ghetto. Step out of them projects. Step out of that judgmental family. Move away from the toxicity, because now you are tainted. You're tainted so bad that it bleeds out wherever you go. That no one can't stand you. They don't even want to be around you. So what you do, you retaliate. By doing something evil, by saying something evil, by putting someone down, by putting fear in somebody. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So at the end of the day, what was happening is God is saying that in your family keeping you down. You turning just like your family. Your family is keeping you where you at. Because you won't let them go, you will be let go. No one's going to be around you. And for the person who keeps taking the abuse on the other stick, God is saying you don't have to take that. You don't have to take that. Enough is enough. Stop allowing yourself to be tormented because, oh, she's a longtime friend. Oh, we've been friends for 20 years. I know she's a little negative, but, I've been knowing her since we was kids. Let that girl go. Because all you doing right now is embedding an evil spirit and allowing them to be close to you. And you should not be making no more excuses for this person. Because when someone is full of love and really wants to see you going, all they got is compliments and pats on the back for you. You cannot be around these type of people no matter how much you think that you should be. It's time to let them people in your circle go. If your mama want to hold on to her, let your mama hold on to her. If your mama think Mrs. Crafty down the street is real nice and sweet because she ain't never seen that side, then let your mama keep praying and going over there and being nice. But if you have seen this side and every time this person comes around, you're uncomfortable at this point. You're on pins and needles wondering what they about to say, how they about to embarrass you, what story they gonna bring up. You got to let it go. They headed in a dark, dark way. I'm not saying maybe one day y'all can't be friends, one day y'all might not reconnect, but right now, that humiliation is real. That feeling in your gut is real. So don't ignore it. God is saying don't ignore it. For the person who's being tormented, God is saying he gives you permission to separate, no matter who they are to the family, no matter what status they got with anybody in your family line. You need to let them go. The person being tormented, let them go. The person that's doing the person that is doing the torment, you better repent. You better break them family curses off of you because you being just like your auntie, your grandma, and your mama. You so bitter, and God is saying that he loves all of us. It's enough he can give to each and one of his child. It's enough. You ain't got to be jealous of nobody. You got to stop walking around bullying people, punking people. Thinking somebody owe you something. Nobody owes you anything. Change your attitude. You are nasty to be around. You got to go cleanse your heart. Just because you've been friends with somebody for 20 years, they don't owe you anything. They don't have to be around you. They don't have to put up with your stuff. So I'm telling you, you about to find yourself by yourself real quick. So that dream is warning to both. For the person being tormented, let it go. Move forward. It's time for you to detox all the toxic people in your life, even family, friends. And for the person out there really out here punking people and bullying people because you feel you should be further, you're not about to have no friends. So take it up with God. That's the message, y'all. Y'all know I'm just here to be the messenger. That was a dream. That was the breakdown. That's what he was nudging me to come out here and say. I wasn't even prepared to come out here. I'm up here stumbling over my words, y'all. But he keeps on telling me that message is for somebody. It's time for you to get a new heart. It's time for you to shut down generational curses. You don't have to be like your mama. You don't have to be like your auntie. You ain't got to be like anybody. It's time for you to be the person that God called you to be. It's time to start putting in the work and start seeking him. So you ain't got to be jealous of nobody. But that didn't come from him. So you better look around at your family table and see all the traits that you done picked up from him. Because God is saying he see him. There was no light in that house, so I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know what family you in, and you just doing it because you like, they my family, I can't disconnect. Then you're going to be just as toxic as they are. And you're going to breathe it every day. There is no light there. Get out, save yourself, pray for them, and God will take whoever he needs to take out along the way. But you need to get out because now your heart is starting to turn. Now you think this is cute. You can't even see how hateful you didn't become. So I'm here to tell you that you hateful, girl. Ain't nobody about to mess with you. Talking to my brothers and my sisters. But in my dream, it was a sister. It was a woman. And it was a woman that was being tormented. So this is for you. God is saying you don't have to take that. That he's taking you out the situation. That now it's time to stand on your own 2 feet. Not with your mama, not with your daddy been telling you about a person. But you have your own discernment. You can see past it. That's why it ain't clicking no more. You got to let it go. So that's the message, brothers and sisters. Go out there and light it up like I know you're going to do. I love y'all. I love y'all. God loves you. Continue to strive and seek him.